eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are upon you. Any wrong you do, he's gonna see. When you're in Texas, look behind you, 'cause that's where the ranger's gonna be.
Good morning, Rangers. I am the United States flag. I am here at Woodland Park, home of the Rangers, bringing you the smoking hot news. Today is Thursday, September 17th, 2015. Everyone please stand and face the flag in your classroom. Place your right hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dream, believe, trees. Woodland Park is my school. I will follow all the rules. I use my manners, take turns. Woodland Park is the great place to learn. I love my friends in school, being nice and very cool.
Today is Constitution Day. The Constitution is the basis for our government in the United States. It spells out how the government is formed, who makes it up, and how to pass and amend laws. It is one of the most famous documents ever written. Here is video about the purpose of the Constitution.
Yes! I have 8,000 attack points, and you only have 5,000 defense points. So I am the winner!
Not so fast, Jeffrey, because my card is a Universe Master, and that beats a Cosmic King.
Universe Masters don't beat Cosmic Kings.
Let's look at the rules, shall we? This should settle things. Now let's see here. Ah yes, here it is. The Universe Master defeats all cards except the Universe Terminator.
Told you so.
Oh, darn.
It's always best to check the rules when you can't agree on how exactly a game should be played. As a general principle, rules are very helpful whenever people have different ideas about how something should be done. Like in our homes, family rules tell us how much television time, if any, is allowed. And in our schools, rules tell us how many books we can borrow from the Learning Center. In our communities, traffic rules tell drivers when to stop and go, thus preventing auto accidents. Community rules are often called ordinances. Rules in our states, such as those that tell us how fast cars can go on highways, are called laws. The rules for our country are also called laws. We have 50 states in our country, each with many different kinds of people, and they don't always see eye to eye on what their law should be. For instance, they may differ in their views about how much smoke should be allowed from a factory smokestack. Because people in different states and different communities don't always agree about what their law should be, it's a good idea to have a main law to settle disagreements when there's a dispute about what a law should or does say. In the United States, our main law is called the Constitution. As it happens, I've been working on a computer program that can take us back more than 200 years, when the United States was a very young country and didn't have its Constitution, its main law.
Gee, Mr. Beanbody, where the heck are we?
And exactly what year is it anyway?
If my program has worked correctly, and it certainly looks like it did, I'd say we're in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and it's 1787.
Phew. It sure is hot, Mr. Beanbody.
It's obviously summer, Jeffrey. Do you see that building over there? It's called Independence Hall, and something quite important, the Constitutional Convention, is taking place inside. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh my! It looks like the debate inside the hall is as hot as the weather outside.
What's the debate about, Mr. Beanbody?
There should be one representative for every state.
Ridiculous. There should be at least 5 representatives. It appears to be about how many people there should be in the new Congress.
Congress? What's that?
I think we may be getting ahead of ourselves, so let's start at the beginning, shall we? The first part of the Constitution, called the Preamble, tells why the Constitution was written and who wrote it.
It says, "We the people of the United States." Is that who wrote it?
Well, the people we just saw, they're called the framers of the Constitution, spoke for or represented all the people of the United States. So, in a sense, yes, all the people were responsible for writing it.
To create a more perfect union. What does that mean?
It means the people who wrote the Constitution did so to come up with a better way to govern themselves.
And it says the people ordain and establish this Constitution?
Meaning that they officially created it to have, as the Constitution says, a country that would be fair and peaceful, where people could protect themselves if need be, where everyone would be encouraged to create a better life for him or herself and for everyone else, and where all our freedoms, such as freedom of the press, would be protected, both now and in the future. And now, I think, is one of those times during which we have to go backward to move forward. So, let's go back to the summer of 1787, shall we? There's the man who's often called the father of the Constitution, James Madison. He carefully studied many different forms of government, those of the Greeks, Romans, English, and so on. After his lengthy studies, he began to write down his ideas and to speak about them at the convention. James Madison was the most respected framer, with the possible exception of George Washington, who would become our country's first president. Which leads us to something very important about the Constitution. It established our form of government, which has 3 parts, or branches. The first, called the executive branch, is the president and a vice president who makes sure that all of the laws are obeyed. Of course, they have many helpers. The second, called the legislative branch, makes those laws. This branch has 2 parts, the Senate and the House of Representatives. The third part of our government is called the judicial branch. It's made up of judges who decide exactly what the laws mean when there's a question about them, and who has or hasn't broken a law.
Wow! Did the Constitution do anything else, Mr. Beanbody?
Oh, yes, indeed, Jeffrey. You see that part there, called Article 5? It made sure that the Constitution could be brought up to date, in case it needed to be. And in fact, less than 2 years after the Constitution was written, the first 10 amendments, or additions, were agreed upon. And these Bill of Rights, as they're called, became part of the Constitution, which was finally approved in 1789.
What do the Bill of Rights say, Mr. Beanbody?
They say that we Americans can speak whatever is on our minds, as long as our words don't hurt anyone. We're free to write whatever we want also, again, as long as our words aren't harmful. We are free to practice any religion we want, and to gather in any group of our choosing. In addition, we have the right to have a trial by jury, among other rights. Now that we've taken a trip back to the 18th century, it's time to head back to the present, which, by a remarkable coincidence, is September 17th, Constitution Day.
Constitution Day?
Right. Every year on that day, Americans all around the country celebrate this remarkable document that has played such an important role in the success of our great nation.
My dream to be a princess.
I hope you all have a wonderful day, and remember, Rangers are safe, Rangers are responsible, and Rangers are respectful.
In the eyes of a ranger, the unsuspecting stranger had better know the truth of wrong from right. 'Cause the eyes of the ranger are upon you. Any wrong you do, he's gonna see. When you're in Texas, look behind you, 'cause that's where the ranger's gonna be.